Hey guys, it's Daniel from DashClicks. So today in this video, we're going over how should digital agencies choose a niche to differentiate themselves. All right, let's jump right into this. So there's kind of three areas to think about niche marketing, okay? Well, four, but it's kind of like three areas create your ideal profit niche, okay? Area number one is offers low competition. Area number two is it's a high market demand. And area number three, it has high income potential. All those together equal your ideal profitable niche, okay? So keep that in mind. Let's jump into some talking points now. So number one is you want to choose a niche that you are familiar with. One of the reasons why you want to niche down is because you end up learning less in the long run. Which means if you focus on one niche, one industry versus every industry, which is complex and complicated, you focus your expertise into one area, one industry, landscaping. So you will learn, you could put all your time into learning their lingo, how they talk to each other, what they care most about, their pain points, all that stuff. And it makes you a expert in the field. Plus, if you already have some interest or you have a niche you're already familiar with, it just makes it that much easier to insert yourself into that market. Number two, choose a niche that is in demand. Okay, so finding niches is one thing where you can become an expert in that niche or that industry, but also you want to find a niche that's in demand. So it's both ways. In demand where the niche companies you're targeting, they are booming. Their customers are inquiring and hiring or purchasing from them a lot. Okay, because what that means is they're growing, and with that growth, you can be able to join their team and help them exponentially grow further. Right? You're not really dealing with struggling businesses. You're dealing with businesses that are healthy, they're growing. So when you come in with marketing, it enhances that. It's not like you're trying to make it or break it for a business that's failing. And that's really a business you should sort of avoid anyways. So you want to choose a niche that's in demand with their customers. And you also want to choose a niche that might be in need of marketing help. Maybe a lot of people don't target that niche. Number three is find a digital-friendly niche, okay? This is sort of what I sort of alluded slightly to this in the last point, which is finding a niche industry that are in need of your marketing services, okay? So this goes into that, where you find a digital-friendly niche. Not only is the niche wanting your services, but avoid niches that are not that don't see the value in online, right? We all kind of understand what that's like. We go, man, you really benefit from a new landing page or Facebook ads. And they go, well, no, I don't believe in that. We only do referrals and we do everything word of mouth and we're offline. Okay, there's no use in trying to convince them. So you want to find a niche that is adopting online marketing, is adopting online efforts and tactics. Okay, it makes your selling and their willingness to work with you much easier. Number four is perform competitive analysis. You could do like a SWOT analysis. You've kind of heard ideas and strategies on how to do competitive research. But when you're going into a niche, check out who's already there. See what kind of competition you're working against. And it just gives you an idea if that's something a niche you really want to focus on or not. Number five is define your buyer persona and customer avatar. So even though you are going to be focusing on a niche and you kind of have an idea of who's in that niche, the type of businesses, you know the lingo you need to talk, the kind of people you're talking to, the services that work best for that industry, you still need to understand out of those landscape companies, what kind of landscape company specifically? What kind of person specifically, right? What kind of model? All that kind of stuff you need to take into account because that's going to also help you design how you're going to message and communicate with these people. Number 6 is assess and financially prowess your audience. I mentioned this earlier. Don't go after everybody. You need two things that you need to focus on in order to consider bringing someone on as a client. First of all, maybe three. First of all, they need to be financially sound. Okay? They can't be a failing business. They can't be like, we'll give you all our money, make this happen in 30 days. They have to be a thriving business. Okay? They also can't have low profit margins, because they can't afford your service if they have low profit margins. Because if they have low profit margins, that means you have to bring in more sales. If you have to bring in more sales, then that means expectations are way higher. So you might not be able to get someone to where they want to be because their margins just don't support what we're trying to do. Okay? And then finally, they have to be tech savvy. No, not tech savvy, but they have to be able to adopt and open to the idea of digital marketing. So avoid companies that have low profit margins and avoid companies that are sinking. You want strong, healthy businesses to work with. 7 is evaluate the niche opportunity. Take a look and see if there's any angle of attack that you could capitalize on, right? As you're doing your research, you are going to find angles that's going to give you that little bit of a competitive edge to jump into a niche. Whether that's, there's not a lot of SEO players specializing in this niche. If I come in and say I'm an SEO specialist for this niche, that might give me a competitive advantage. So take a look, evaluate, and you might find some niche opportunity. Number 8 is choose a niche that has long-term growth potential. Okay. I can't think of an example right now, but there's plenty of times where there's bubbles, right? Or trending products or types of businesses. And they get really, really big, really, really fast, but then it flatlines. And then before you know it, they're out of business. So you want to choose a niche that has long-term growth potential. So do your research also to make sure that this is a long-term industry, because you don't want to invest time and money to build a multi-million-dollar marketing agency, which is everyone's hope, just to find out 5 years later that it was a bubble and everything went sinking and there's no more clients and that sort of thing. So you want something that has its foot in the door in the market, it has a foundation in the market, and has long-term growth. Number 9 is decide to have a passion and deep-seated love for your niche. This is going to help so much more. And this kind of goes back to one of the points earlier in this video, which was choose a niche where you have interest in, that you already have knowledge in. And if you have knowledge in a niche or interest, if you have knowledge, that sort of includes the fact that you're probably interested in that topic. So choose a niche that you are interested in, you have a passion, you have a love for, because all the things that you will get better at, all the things you'll learn the most are going to be the things that you actually enjoy doing, and you'll avoid the stuff that you don't like learning, right? It makes the things way easier for you. Number 10, this is the final point I'll make before I end this video, is this. I understand this is kind of vague, and you're going to have the question, like, where do I even start with this? I get it. But if you can find a mentor, I'd highly recommend doing that. Finding someone who is already in your niche. Why not just reach out to another agency or another competitor and just chat with them? Why not? It can be scary. You are doing this alone at first, essentially. And if you're working with DashClicks, you're not really doing it alone. You have DashClicks team and fulfillment and all the software and stuff. And we're here to support you. But it can be scary, especially intimidating at times when you want to talk to someone like a mentor who is much more successful than you are and has already done this and won at it. And it can be intimidating because you might get some honest truth from them. Well, I recommend you do this. Don't do that anymore, and you get honest feedback. But hiring a mentor is probably the best thing you can do to really get some insight so that you can save years of wasted time and you don't feel like you're just guessing and spending more money and time and frustration on trying to figure out how to do this. Mentors can just streamline and eliminate all that problem at times. Okay? Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you sign up for your forever free DashClicks account, and I'll see you in the next video.